Hi, this is Nikki with Nikki's Crochet Nook from Amarillo, Texas. It's August 4th, 2019. Want to start out with sending my condolences and prayers to all of those affected by the shootings in Dayton, Ohio and El Paso, Texas. I grieve for your families that are dealing with your loss. I looked it up last night, and there's been 250 mass shootings in the United States since 2019 began, and that is an alarming number. So I send prayers to every family affected by any shooting this year or previous years. Tell you a little bit about me. I was a single mom majority of my life. I have 4 beautiful children, 3 beautiful daughters, 2 are twins, and they are 24, and then my youngest daughter is 23, and then my son is 17. He's a senior this coming week, and that terrifies me because he's my baby. I have about 70 children that call me mom. They know they have me anytime they need me. And then I have my 2 beautiful grandbabies. I have a 3-year-old granddaughter and a 2-year-old grandson, and they are my world. And then I have about 13 others that also call me, well, it was Nani, but my granddaughter changed it to Nini, which is fine. I have a best friend that supports me 100% and has been my best friend for 26 years, and her husband are my support 100 all the time. I have lived with a life of disability since 2001. I've been disabled. I have several health disorders, along with being a cancer survivor. I have chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia and IBS, chronic migraines, hypothyroidism, hypertension. I also have several back injuries that affect my day-to-day. Makes it very difficult to be up and around and constantly go, and I wish I could, but my body says no. I started my YouTube channel just because I liked the crochet community with Mama Hodge Crochet and Crafty Floridian, which she cracks me up and I love her. And Mama Hodge actually lives in Texas nearby, so I'm hopefully going to get with her sometime soon and maybe have a crochet along or something, a meet and greet. I'm glad she made it safely to Vegas. And then the Secret Yarnery, Krista, I love watching her. And Summer's Tips and Stitches, I hope I said that right, Summer. The Pineapple, I love all of our crochet community and watching everybody's videos and the spunk that y'all have. It just makes my week awesome. And 90% of the time while I'm sitting around waiting for an Uber ride, that's what I'm doing, is watching one of y'all. I binge your channels all the time. I have Netflix, but I really don't watch it anymore. Sorry, there's a fly flying around me. I'm at a girlfriend's house because I'm house sitting this week, so this is not my normal scenery behind me, but I loved it and thought it looked country, and I enjoy it. Also, I have 2 sets of parents, and you'll often hear me say my adopted parents. I was not legally adopted. When I was 13, I started babysitting for a great couple, and they became my other mom and dad just over the years. And then I have my parents that raised me my entire life and showed me what it means to persevere, because my dad had a lot of problems with getting hurt on the job and stuff, and he still got up and went to work every day, and so I do the same. I've been crocheting since I was 6. My grandmothers both crocheted. One of my aunts, my mother, a couple of my aunts. And I grew up watching them, and when I was about 6, I remember coming home and telling Mom, like, hey, can I have a crochet hook and some yarn? And she was just like, you don't know what you're doing. And I sat down and I chained, and then I was like, okay, can you show me how to double back? Because I don't know how to do that. So for the longest time, the only crochet stitches I knew how to do was a single, double, and a chain. And then when I was 32, my best friend and I, we would sit at the school waiting for our kids to come out, and so we crocheted, and we taught ourselves how to read patterns. And I'm going to show you a little bit on how to read a pattern here later in the video. I just wanted to do a little bit more info on me so people know who I am. I started to do more projects at about that age, about 32. I crocheted off and on, not consistently since I was 6, but off and on. And then I've been crocheting like crazy ever since. I have figured out patterns. I've made patterns more my way than somebody else's. And I'll try to share some tutorials, and if I can find the pattern, I will gladly link it. Most of the patterns I had when I first started reading them was the little sheets that you pull off of the things at the stores that are free patterns that they offer you from Red Heart, from any Hobby Lobby has several. Those always helped me, but some of them were confusing. I was like, okay, what am I supposed to do here? I think my biggest one was the granny square. I wanted to learn how to do a granny square so bad, and I really worked hard for it, so I did do that. I looked up a granny square and I started teaching myself. Since then, I've made probably 100 blankets. I've figured out patterns for things that weren't available. I just didn't ever really write them down. I make a car seat cover for both my grandbabies that I couldn't find. It's not a solid car seat cover. The handle actually fits through the top of it so that the mama can look in on the baby without having to lift the cover up, and it's not so hot. Both my babies were born in the summer or the early fall, so it was hot. Texas stays hot for a while. And, I don't know. I wanted to come on today and show y'all how I taught myself how to read a crochet pattern. And I also found some crochet patterns from Lily's cream. I think it's called cream cotton. And some older crochet patterns that my grandmother gave to me when she passed. I think that's about it for now, other than the pattern and how to read it. And I hope y'all enjoy this video. And thank you to all my 18 subscribers. Y'all are awesome. I hope I gain more, and I can't wait to gain more and see where this goes. But I appreciate each and every one of y'all. And if y'all would say a silent prayer for those families that are grieving today or have been this entire year for whatever reason they've lost a loved one. I volunteer for a local rescue. I do the fundraising part of it. Her name is Gracie's Project. She is on Facebook. If y'all would go follow her and help out when you can, that'd be awesome. That is my big charity, and I want to give as much as possible to her. She's an amazing woman, and she has rescued like 1,200 dogs in 2 years, which blows my mind, and the number's probably bigger than that. But I would just love to get extra support. Okay, so on to reading patterns. This is the Lily's kitchen things. I got this at Hobby Lobby, I believe. Little kitchen helpers. And I make a pattern. There's a flower dishcloth. Not like this. It's a round flower. And I actually taught myself how to put the scrubby in the middle and make an even cuter little pattern. This book has several dishcloth patterns, and it has hanging towel patterns, and this is one of my books that I go to when I'm wanting to do something that's quick, easy, makes great Christmas gifts. I'm not really sure who this is from what company. Leisure Arts Little Books, I guess. And then going through, I'm making a doily for the friend whose house I'm sitting. And I was going through my grandma's patterns. Now, mind you, my grandma has patterns from the 70s, and this looks to be about 70s, early 80s. I just had to show y'all because I thought they were so cute. She paid 25 cents for this. It's little coffee cups and kittens and a hot pad and how to crochet them. Now, on these patterns, for the most part, like there's one that's a little hat and a little house. For the most part, when you're reading a pattern, the first row is not considered the front or the beginning row. The beginning row is usually the chain. And this one says, and it's coming up backwards, sorry. We'll go with the little hat. And it tells you what sugar and cream yarn you need and how much of each. And it'll tell you your crochet hooks. And this one calls for a 0 and a 5, and I believe a 5 is a G. And it'll tell you with yellow yarn, number 0 hook, chain 19. Skip 1 chain, single crochet in next 18 chains. So that means that you chain the 19 and you will turn around and you'll skip that very first chain and you'll go 18 single crochets across. So I said single chain a while ago, sorry. And then that shows in this pattern book all as 1 row, which technically it is because you do your starting chain and then when you work back, that's your 1 row. When it says, like right here, let's see if I can get this up here. You see where it has that star? And the star, it says double crochet in next 4. Okay, that star will finish. It'll be a sentence or a count or whatever, like 5 double crochet, 3 double crochet, 2 double crochet, and it'll be star, parentheses, parentheses, star. So you'll have, from that star to star, you'll have to repeat it however many times it says. And it says usually repeat from star once, twice, 5 times till you complete the row. Then most patterns are very, very simple. You just have to learn the language of them. If it says a DC and it is in America, that is a double crochet. Now, I do not know English terms. I know that like their treble is our double crochet and their double crochet is like our half double or something like that. I'm not real sure. I'll have to educate myself on that a little bit. But your best patterns to learn how to read a pattern on are a square dishcloth. If it's a square dishcloth, like this one, right here, see how it's square? That is one of the easiest patterns you'll find to read because it's usually like chain 50, then single 1, turn, and then double crochet all the way across the row. So it's really easy, and you start learning where your stitches are and what you got to do, and you got to keep count. When you are learning a pattern, you have got to keep your count. That's how come some folks, when they're crocheting, they first start, they'll have a blanket that starts out at, say, 100 stitches. And then as they go, the blanket's going like this. And it's because they're adding stitches. And they're not intentionally doing it. They just, okay, I've been doing 20 rows. I'm good. I don't have to count no more. And they start veering out. Or they start veering in because they're not putting in enough. So that's one of your biggest things about learning how to read a crochet pattern. I'm sure there are several YouTube videos on learning how to crochet and how to read those patterns. I will try to get a little bit more in detail. I'm going to use some of my patterns because these aren't free. These I paid for. And so I want to not use these because I don't want to get in trouble for using those. But yeah, you can get these books. Most of the craft stores have books like this. I don't know that Michael's does though. Every once in a while they'll have books listed, but for the most part they only got a couple. And they're usually really thick, really big books. But these little quick books like this, these are so easy. But I have one here from 1989 that my grandmother had, which I thought was cool. I was like 11. And I'm actually going to make that doily, the big one, for my girlfriend here that I'm helping watch the house so that she can add some pretty to her guest room. And then I came across these. These were like 2004, I think, maybe. And it's another Lily's sugar and cream. And look at them chickens. And then you got this big chicken on the back. And I think they are so freaking cute. And then, sorry, I'm trying to slap a fly. And here's the dishcloths that have the scrubbies in them, which I love. They're really good. And they last forever. You can get those scrubbies at the Dollar Tree, I think, 6 for $1. And then the sugar and cream yarns, I think, $1.99. And you can usually get 1 to 2 out of each skein. So for $3, you make a nice dishcloth for someone's Christmas gift. I know it's only August, but hey, got to get Christmas gifts going because you won't get them done. But it's got several really cool patterns in it. And I don't know if you can go on their website and order this book, but I love these dishcloths. They work out so good. And then, really good girlfriend of mine. She was actually my very first subscriber on my channel. I have a saying that I want to get added to merchandise. And she asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and she's got this awesome Yeti cup. And I was like, I want a Yeti cup with this on it. And so this is my Yeti cup. And see the marble and the glitter, because I'm a glittery woman. And I won't say this out loud because I don't want to get screened for them thinking bad stuff. But it says, can you see that? And I mean my yarn. So thank you, Miss Cindy, for my cup. I love it. Anyway, that will be all for today, and I will try to do some tutorials this week. I'm still learning the gist of all this. I also have some acquisitions coming from Wish, some more crochet hooks and stuff that I'm going to try out while I'm doing a pattern. So stay tuned, subscribe. Thank you for visiting Nikki's Crochet Nook, and thank you for all the support from my local my YouTubers and local family and stuff, of course, is watching me, which I greatly appreciate each and every one of y'all. Have a blessed day and crochet away.